Hi guys, welcome back to the FSeries channel, and if it's not welcome back, what on earth are you doing? Make sure you are subscribed and you hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload from us girls, because every Friday is an FSeries Friday. This weekend is the first ever Extreme E weekend in history, and we are also excited to see what the racing is like, get to know the format and indulge ourselves in a brand new racing series. Stay tuned because Kira, Steph and myself are going to let you know what we're looking forward to about Extreme E.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I am literally at an 11 for Extreme E. I think it's going to be so good.
I'm going to say a 9.
I don't think I can put a number on how excited I am for Extreme E. Ever since I've stumbled upon it, I've been so excited to see what it does because of everything it stands for, and it's just so different to every other racing series.
I'm really used to watching electric racing, but actually electric racing and rallying is so different for me. I've never actually watched rallying before, so to mix the two together is going to be so interesting. Again, never something I have ever watched before, but I'm really excited for a new challenge and a new thing to watch.
I've never watched rallying before. I've never watched Dakar, I've never watched the World Rally Championship, and this is basically the first rally thing that I'm going to watch. The only reason it's not a 10 is because I'm worried that I'm not going to like it because I've never watched rally before.
Which drivers are you all most excited to watch?
You guys know me, you know that Jenson Button is one of, if not my favourite Formula 1 drivers, so I'm definitely really looking forward to seeing how he's going to do in this rally championship.
Katie Munnins, who is driving for Andretti. I have seen Katie a lot on TikTok. She does a load of TikTok videos all about racing and rallying. So I'm really excited to get to see how she drives and how well she performs, because as you all know, Extreme E, we have equal number of female drivers and male drivers. So I feel like we'll finally get to see more female personalities within motorsport racing. And she's clearly able to connect well with an audience and her fans through TikTok, so I'm really excited to see if she can build on that.
Probably the Veloce guys. I'm not just saying that because I am biased, but because they have got a great lineup with Jamie Chadwick, who I have been watching her career for a good couple of years now, and I am really excited for the prospect of her. And also Sarazan, he is an amazing driver who I again have a lot of respect for, so it's really nice to see him a little bit more in the Extreme E Championship, so I am super excited to see them both drive.
I'm also excited for Carlos Sainz because I've heard so much about him as the father of Carlos Sainz Jr., who is obviously in Formula 1.
Carlos Sainz Sr., he is huge in the rallying scenes, but that's stuff that I've never really followed. I am still a new fan when it comes to motorsport, but I hear so much about Carlos Sainz Sr. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what all the hype is about with him.
He won the World Rallycross Championship twice in 1990 and 1992, so he's clearly a very capable rally driver, and he's won Dakar so many times, most recently in 2020. So he's honestly a great driver and a great choice for one of the drivers in this series, because I think he will be more than capable of doing a great job, and I'm really looking forward to actually seeing him in action instead of hearing about it for once.
X44 have a really good lineup with Lobes and also Gutierrez. And of course, Jenson Button is physically racing in his own team, so that just tops it off.
Finally, I'm really excited for Johan Kristoffersson. He's driving for Rosberg Extreme Racing, and honestly, I think that he could be one of the best drivers that we have on that field, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's not really a grid. He is a 3-time winner of the World Rallycross Championship in 2017, 2018 and 2020. So he is clearly a recent talent to grace World Rallycross, and I'm really excited because I think he'll be able to transfer all of those skills to Extreme E and it will pay off for him.
We have 3 teams which are all headed by current or former Formula 1 drivers, with Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg and Jenson Button. But whose team do you think is going to come out on top?
Now, it would be really difficult to say because a lot of these drivers are new to me, and also, you know, this is a complete new series. I don't know how anything's going to go.
Nico, Lewis, I love you, but I honestly think Jensen's team is going to come out on top. I honestly think having Jensen driving the car is going to make a huge difference to the team's development and tactics and strategies, and that's going to put him a step above both Nico and Lewis's team.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Rosberg Extreme Racing. I think that he has the strongest team because Molly Taylor, his female driver, she won the Australian Rallycross Championship, and obviously, as I said, Kristofferson is a really, really decorated Rallycross champion, so I think that they have the most experienced and successful lineup in the world of rallycross and endurance.
I think the tension between all the teams will be very strong, and I think that we will get a good fight, but I just have no idea which ones. I think X44 do have a good lineup, and also so does Jensen Button's team. I need to learn the names of the teams. I don't know why I don't know them. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very close one between all them three.
We have 5 different locations for Extreme E. Which location are you most excited for?
Now, the location I'm most excited for is definitely Greenland's. I just cannot wait to see these cars on ice and in the cold environment. I think the sand and the desert is going to be really good, but that's kind of what I personally am more used to if I think of rallying, whereas actually seeing it on ice is like another level. Like, that's what I think Valtteri Bottas does in his weekends, and I'm in awe of that. I absolutely love that. I just physically cannot believe I'm going to be watching electric rally cars on ice. Like, that's exciting.
For me, it's between Greenland and Senegal, which are the Arctic X Prix and the Ocean X Prix. I just don't really know anything about either country, which is another thing which I think is so great about Extreme E. We're going to learn so much about these different locations and why it's so important that we look after the planet that we're on, because we don't want these locations to disappear.
Personally, I'm most excited for Brazil for obvious reasons, because you guys know that I study Portuguese. I was supposed to be going to Brazil, so I love Brazil, and I'm really, really excited for us to go race there. But not just that. I am actually really excited to see how they're going to race in the Amazon, because it's fine to race in the desert because you don't really have a lot around you, it's sand. In the glaciers, yeah, it's ice. But when you're racing in the Amazon rainforest, there are trees. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're actually going to navigate the trees, whether it's going to be in kind of an open expanse of the Amazon, or whether they're going to have to navigate the actual rainforest. Like, it's not computed in my head.
What are you most intrigued by?
I'm most intrigued by the initiatives that they're going to implement in the places that they're racing in.
I am most intrigued by all the work which is going on behind the scenes. Extreme E isn't just a racing series. Extreme E works with the communities where it goes to race, so there's so much more happening on behind the scenes.
Hopefully when we get to the races, we'll be able to see a lot more of these initiatives come to life, and we'll be able to hear a lot more about what's actually being done to assist with climate change in these extreme regions.
I'm a massive advocate for educating and teaching people different views, opinions, facts, all of that kind of jazz through motorsport. I'm just intrigued on how they're going to do it.
The thing that intrigues me most is probably the format. It's a very different format to what we are used to in any other racing series, and it's going to be very different. And I'm going to have to get myself used to that. I'm going to have to familiarise myself with it to make sure that I know what's going on at the weekend, because there's nothing worse than watching a racing series and you just have no idea what's going on. So for this, I am really excited about it. I think I'm going to have to learn the format. It's going to be very different, as I said. Intriguing, but I think it's going to be worth it once I get my head around it and we start racing.
Who's going to win the first ever X Prix?
Now, honestly, it could literally be any of them. As I said earlier, I really don't know who is going to be better, because I have not watched half of these drivers before and it's a new series, so I really don't know the answers. So I'm going to take a punt and just say X44. I just feel like he has got a good lineup in that team, so I feel like overall they will probably win the first X Prix, but I have no idea.
I think the first winners are going to be the Acciona Sainz XE team, with Carlos Sainz Sr. and Laia Sanz in the cockpit. I don't know why I've said that. Maybe it's just because I think that Carlos Sainz is such a good and experienced. I feel like that is definitely something not to be lost. He's so experienced in driving in these strange conditions from Dakar and Rallycross, so I genuinely think that he'll be really adaptable. She'll have a great mentor in him, so they will work really well together. They're both Spanish, that means they can speak in Spanish to each other. Yeah, I think they're going to win the first race. I'm looking forward to it.
I think the first team to win an X Prix will be Techeetah. They haven't even announced who their drivers are yet, but you just have to take a look at Formula E and see how successful they have been in that championship. I think they'll just be able to hit the ground running and get that first win under their belt.
Which team are you going to back?
There's loads of teams that I want to back in this series, but I think I will have a soft spot for Jenson Button's team. I love Jenson as a driver, I love him as a pundit. I'm just really excited to see where this takes his career next. And of course that livery is beautiful. It reminds us so much of the 2009 Braun GP livery. So I just hope he does it justice.
Now I'm going to have to say Veloce, of course they are my team. Also X44 because I'm a massive Lewis Hamilton fan and I'm so glad he is finally going into something that he wants to do. We know that he is very environmentally friendly and this is just the perfect series for that. So I'm definitely going to say X44 and also JB's team just because JB is driving. Like that tops it off.
You guys know I'll be backing Jenson Button all the way, so JBXC, they are going to be my team. I know Kira's probably said Veloce, and I don't know who Beef will have said. Maybe she'll have said Rosberg's team. But yeah, I will 100% be backing my guy Jenson Button and his team JBXE, but I will also be backing Lewis Hamilton's team X44 because I also back Lewis Hamilton. So yeah, those teams for definite are going to be high up on my support radar.
What are you looking forward to the most about Extreme E?
I am most looking forward to the actual broadcast of Extreme E. Everything we've seen from them so far has been really slick, has been really modern. You have had fantastic graphics. We have to see it in a different way because no fans will be at the Extreme E races because obviously they're trying to make it as carbon neutral as possible whilst putting on a good show. So I'm just really excited to see how they get the hype across in the broadcasting, the way that Formula 1 and Formula E have had to do because of the pandemic. But I'm just super excited to see how they actually translate that across on the screen.
Honestly, I'm most looking forward to how the weekend is going to play out and how the race format is going to be implemented. There are supposed to be 7 races, 4 of which are qualifying races, 2 of which are semi-final races, and 1 of which is the final race. So to begin with, we're going to have 2 qualifying rounds that both consist of 2 races each. And the field is basically going to be split in 2. So you're going to have 5 teams competing in one round of qualifying and the other 5 teams competing in the other round of qualifying. Points are then going to be awarded based on where you finish in your qualifying round, and whoever has the most points will move on to semi-final 1. The teams that didn't get enough points in qualifying to move up to semi-final 1 will then compete against each other in semi-final 2. The top 3 winners from semi-final 1 will move on to the final race, and the top 1 winner from semi-final 2 will move on to the final race. So the final race actually only consists of 4 cars. We could definitely see everyone at some point in the final. We could see a team that never makes it to the final. I'm just really intrigued to see which teams are going to be consistently making it through to semi-final 1 and consistently making it through to the final, and whether there will be a team who seems to kind of fall behind and never seems to make it to the final. But yeah, I'm really intrigued as to how well that will go down. It's very different to kind of any of the qualifyings that I'm used to. And so I like it because I obviously don't want the same qualifying system to be repeated throughout every single motorsport. And I think this is a really good way of ensuring that not everyone misses out. So yeah, I'm so excited for Extreme E now, and by the time this video comes out, Extreme E is going to start tomorrow, Saturday the 3rd of April. So honestly, I'm so excited and I can't wait to see you all watching along with us.
So guys, that pretty much wraps it up for today's video. As usual, if you liked the video, give it a like. And we want to know in the comments below, what are you most excited to see in Extreme E? If you don't already, make sure you go and follow us on Twitter and come join our Discord because that's a fun time. As usual, the links will be in the description down below. We'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!